Hey guys, Dotarian here, back with another Diablo 4 beta build video. Today we're showcasing a decent Druid Stormcaster build utilizing Tornado and Hurricane, which are both Storm skills. This build is really good at clearing mobs, and your Tornadoes deal high damage against single targets as well. Note that this is the beta of Diablo 4, so things are still subject to change. Also note that Druid is currently in a very difficult state at the moment. He's a very difficult character level in the early game in the beta, so hopefully Blizzard will adjust this accordingly. But this particular build I'm showcasing is showing off a few legendaries as well that really help to push this build. So for the skill tree, we're starting off with our basic generators. Stormstrike. This generator has everything. The only weakness of this skill is that it's melee, but apart from that, this skill is an area of effect skill. It provides damage reduction, vulnerable status on mobs, and generates the highest base spirit. So we're taking 1 point into its associated perks. Next, we're taking our core skill, Tornado. We're taking 5 points into it, plus its modifiers, to generate an additional Tornado and apply vulnerable as well. I'm also taking the associated damage perks, Wild Impulses, which will help us deal more damage at the cost of a little bit more spirit, as well as Predatory Instinct, which provides 9% more crit against close enemies. Next, we're taking 2 defensive skills in the form of Earthen Bulwark and Cyclone Armor. I haven't taken any perks in these skills as I feel the base skills are good enough, but you can take out some of the damage perks and opt for these if you feel like you're struggling to survive. We're skipping the companion skills and we're going to go down to the Hurricane. We're taking Hurricane because it provides really good constant AoE damage. The modifiers that we're including on Hurricane is the slow and the damage reduction. Now you can opt out of these for something else, like the damage perks. Next to Hurricane, we're taking Endless Tempest, and this will increase the duration of the Hurricane as well. Now in terms of legendary powers that I found help this build, a few noteworthy ones are Tornadoes will seek extra targets. Note that with this particular power, I actually found this on a one-handed weapon, and remember that one-handed weapons will have the normal version of the power. If you imprint this into a two-handed weapon, it will double the effect. So in this case, when I found it on a one-handed weapon, it was Tornadoes will seek 2 targets, and when I imprinted it onto a two-handed weapon, it doubled to 4. Next is this particular defensive power, which gives me armor every time I deal damage. And this gives a huge boost to my armor and resistances. Now note, this actually stacks very incrementally until it reaches 40%, but we can actually get to this very quickly as Hurricane will deal AoE damage, and that helps build up this armor very quickly. Next, we have critical strikes with storm skills. Charge the air around you for 1.2 seconds, causing a lightning strike to periodically hit the area for 400 lightning damage, and this can be extended with additional lightning strikes. Now note that in our skills, this is why we took Predatory Instinct, so that we can increase our crit strike against close enemies. And what are close enemies? Close enemies are the ones within melee range. And with our Storm Strike, this is a storm skill that we'll be using against melee enemies as a generator. And against those melee enemies, we'll be also using Tornado as well. And Tornado has a chance to crit as well. And finally, Hurricane is another storm skill which allows us to get a chance to crit. And even Cyclone Armor has an active that can be used to try and activate that passive. Now note that with our non-min-maxed armor, we have a base crit chance of 8.5%, and this 8.5% I believe comes from all the gear, and this excludes the 9% that we get from close enemies. So this roughly gives us 17.5% crit chance. And with all the skills that we use from Hurricane, Storm Strike, Tornado, and Cyclone, we have a very high chance of hitting a critical strike, and that will activate this particular perk. The next legendary power is this one, which is basic skills gain 42% attack speed. This helps us generate our spirit very quickly. Now note that this is a two-handed axe, and on the two-handed axe it actually says that it's a slow weapon, as it does 0.9 attacks per second. If you get a staff, a good staff has 1 attack per second, so it's slightly faster, so you can potentially increase the attack speed a little bit more. And if you get more attack speed as well, you could also attack faster as well. Lastly, on my helm here, my helm, it allows us to heal 9.2 life per second for each close enemy, up to 46 life per second. So 46 life per second is actually more than 10% of our health. So when we have a lot of mobs surrounding us, we actually gain 10% of our health back in life every second. Now these are the most useful legendaries I found for this particular build. There's probably more which will make the build stronger, and my build is not actually min-maxed yet. This build is very functional and easy to use. You can simply build Spirit with the Storm Strike and then use Cyclone when it's up. Now because Cyclone is a very spirit hungry skill, which consumes 43 spirit per cast, and we have 103 spirit, about 2 casts per gauge is all that we can manage. So you really need to make sure that you can gain your spirit gauge back very quickly before you cast your next Cyclones. You also have 2 defensive skills as well, Cyclone Armor and Earthen Bulwark. You can pop these, Earthen Bulwark for the barrier and Cyclone Armor for the knockback. I just wanted to put a quick shout out to a viewer on my channel for providing feedback in one of my videos. I really appreciate it, and if you've got any more suggestions, feel free to comment down below, as it's really helpful to me. Now in creating this build, I actually also noticed that there was another content creator out there who released this build before me, so I thought I'd give him a shout out, RektbyProtoss. I'll leave a link to his video down in the descriptions below. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Have an awesome day, and bye for now.